Hello, everybody. I'm Pouria Sadeghi here. I'm here with another episode of High Achievers with Erfan. Erfan has been a real estate agent for the past 2.5 years or 3 years almost, right?
Almost two and a half years.
Two and
Yeah.
a half years. And he's been with our team. Previously, he was with another team. We're so happy to have him. So I wanted to bring him on this podcast and just talk to him about everything real estate. Are you ready? Should we do it?
Let's get
Erfan,
to
you
it.
want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, my name is Erfan. I've been a realtor for almost 2 years. I'm originally Persian, but I have grown up in like the lower mainland, mostly in Burnaby. So very familiar with the area. And I don't know.
So what got you into real estate?
Oddly enough,
Just learn about you first a little bit.
yeah, so I was a computer science major for 2 years at SFU, but that was stressing me out a lot and I wasn't enjoying it much. So I was planning on taking like a gap year from it, but I ended up with my parents. They didn't want me to take a break. So I ended up having to go into something else during that year that I wanted off. And real estate was always an interest of mine. So like even as a kid, I would force them to go to open houses for no reason. I would force them to go to open houses for no reason, just to check it out, just to see the homes and see what they're like. And I thought I would just sign up for the course, do it on my own time, do it at my pace. And I ended up really liking it. So I've stuck through it and now we're here.
Now you're here. You have another job too besides being a real estate agent, which is very difficult, honestly, to do because and you're doing great because you're balancing both of them. And I find that when I was doing real estate and I had a construction business too, and I still have it, and I was more focused in construction at the beginning because obviously that was my main source of income, and I couldn't just switch to real estate. It was very tough. It was very tough. I had to go out with my construction clothes, and then I had a showing. I had to go home, change, and then go out with my real estate clothes. Suit up, and then and it was it was very time consuming, and it was frustrating at times, but it was worth it because I knew that the ultimate goal at that point in my life was to be fully focused in real estate. So I had that, and that was a transition I had to go through, and I'm pretty sure that's happening with a lot of agents right now, and people that are just going through both phases, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where you're at right now. Yeah. Well, you're planning to eventually just focus on real estate, right?
Eventually, yeah, hopefully soon. Getting closer and closer every day, but so hopefully soon I can get full into real estate and just do that mainly and forget the other job.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. One question from you. You are part of EXP right now because whoever works with us has to be part of EXP because we are part of EXP. Can I ask you, how's your experience been with EXP Realty so far?
Really good so far. Yeah, it's really easy to be part of EXP because it's a global brokerage. It's not a local brokerage. So if I need help, I can ask anyone across the world. Obviously, most of the time I go to you, Pouria. But if you're not available, I can go to other team members, other brokerage members, and everyone's willing to help because our whole goal is to grow EXP. It's not just growing by yourself. It's to grow EXP too.
That's right. Yesterday, I was at this event that a lot of EXP agents were there, and I never had to go. I never went to any other events before with other brokerages, but this one I literally paid. I bought a ticket to go to this event, right? Because it was very interesting for me to go there. And after going there, now I'm actually more motivated to go to more of these events because you get to see more people. And we had two speakers that talked about their success. There was this lady that is selling close to 100 million a year, and she has 7 kids, right? And that's pretty challenging because most women, when they have 1, 2, 3 kids, most of their times gets devoted to their kids, right? And this lady had 7 kids, and she was still closing $100 million in business, and she was going through her success story and everything that she's using right now to allow her to close close to 200 transactions to be 100 million, right? It's not like Vancouver that you close 20 transactions, you do 100 million, right? She was from Alberta, and she had to close 200 transactions in 1 year to do that. And 200 transactions in a year is almost 20 transactions a month.
Jeez.
Right? It's like 18 transactions, 17 transactions a month.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good.
That's
obviously
really good.
That's
with
like
that
one
consistency.
transaction every 2 days.
Yeah.
For someone that has 7 kids. and has a husband and has the life and is, that's exactly what you said. With EXP Realty, you want to be together, you want to grow together. And what I really liked from the meeting yesterday is that this lady said, I joined EXP Realty, and before that, before joining EXP Realty, I was always holding all my business secret into my heart. And if someone asked me, "Hey, how are you doing all of these sales?" and I was like, "Well, old trick, work hard, and luck will come to you." Like when you don't want to tell someone what you exactly
Yeah.
do. And she's like, since I joined EXP Realty, I have been coming to these events. I talk to everyone, and I show them exactly what I do. And I wish you were there too, because it was a really, really good um, way of connecting with buyers and sellers. And I really think that what she is doing right now, I have gone through the same thing, but I never systemized it the way that she systemized it. And I'm very excited. After coming out of that meeting, I am now, because I have my course, right, my real estate course, which I held it, I stopped it, and now I'm just putting it back on. I'm trying to get people to come and be mentored by me, and I actually gonna copy her model, because it actually is something that I did too. So I'm just gonna copy the same model, and I'm just gonna get everyone that join us go through the same model, because I'm pretty sure it works really, really
Oh,
well.
really?
Yes. Um, One question from you is, so now you're part of EXP, you were part of another brokerage before. Do you think EXP is where you're going to spend the rest of your career?
I would hope so.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
just because I think with how it's expanding, how the systems work, they make it really easy with the transactions for the documents and everything like that. And they're constantly growing with like connecting us with other platforms that will make our jobs easier. So I think EXP is definitely the place I'm going to be for the rest of my career.
Nice. That's amazing. I think the same thing for me too. And when you start growing your revenue share, then there's no way out for you. It's
Yeah.
like, because you just like spend so much time. And again, I don't know why I'm just explaining this about the EXP, but I want to mention one more thing too. Um, is that with EXP, with any other brokerage out there, when you work really hard and you become very known as a real estate agent in your city, a lot of other agents will try to reach out to you and will want to come work with you. And if you're part of a brokerage that will allow others to come work with you, but they don't really appreciate you for expanding that brokerage, I don't want to be part of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I bring 10 other people into my brokerage, not the one right now, but like let's say any other brokerage, the brokerage is not even going to give me a $5 Starbucks card.
Yeah.
Like, hey, thank you for bringing 10 new people that are going to make so much more profit for the company. And that doesn't really make sense for me, because it's a one-sided business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're doing everything and the other side is just waiting and just enjoying it. But with EXP is that every person that you bring to the company is willing to share their cut, whatever that they make from that agent with you, to as an appreciation that
Mm-hmm.
you're helping to the company to grow. And that's something that after a while, when you start building that platform and revenue share, you can't really get out, because like you have constant passive money coming into your account. And if you just leave that company and go to another company, then you're not going to get that passive income anymore. So
You lose all of it.
exactly, right? So you're like, after a while, you're like, okay, well, I can't really get out of this company anymore, right? And a lot of people use that against EXP, and they say, well, I've heard a lot of rumors that once you go into EXP, you can't get out. Yeah, you can. I can get out at any time I want, but you sit down and you write down all the pros and cons, and you say, okay, well, why should I leave this company if I'm making all this passive income? So for me, last year was my first year with EXP, right? And
Mm-hmm.
as a real estate agent, you have to pay $16,000 to the company to cap.
Yeah.
I paid the 16,000. At the end of the year, they gave me all the 16,000 back and more, because I got the stocks. The stocks went up. So it's literally like I was with a brokerage that was supporting me with all my documents, with all my managing broker needs, with all my questions and everything for free.
Yeah.
And also because I brought everyone in the team under EXP, I actually made so much money above what I would make while I was with other brokerages too. So it's a no brainer in my opinion. One question from you: what is the biggest obstacle for a new agent?
I think just the learning curve
Mm-hmm.
of a lot of people come in, think they have free time. It's going to be easy. You'll have people calling you all the time.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work like that. You have to go out of your way to find the clients, find the leads. And we're in a very competitive market. So
Super
you
competitive.
have to work super hard to keep those leads, keep those clients once you do get them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of new agents don't understand that part.
Yeah. So what's the best way to get leads in real estate? Tell
Probably
us the secret sauce.
I think it's going to be through open houses because a lot of people come in just to look around, and that's how you can build a connection with them right there, face to face. Hosting a lot of open houses is something I need to do more, but that is what I've heard and I've seen is the best way to get your leads, get your clientele.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Do you believe in online marketing?
I do believe in online marketing. I think Instagram, Facebook posts, all those kinds of stuff. People want to see you in these days,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to see you active. So you need to be up to date on all your platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all of those, and constantly keep posting so people know that you're putting in work, putting in effort, and doing your job.
If you have to choose one platform to market yourself, which one would it be?
I think right now it's Instagram's the top one for sure.
Instagram is the top one. And what feature of Instagram do you think is the best for real estate agents?
Reels.
Yeah.
That's something I need to work on myself, but reels are definitely the best. They get the
But
most.
don't worry, there's gonna be a lot of reels from this video.
Good, because I need more of them.
Uh,
But yeah, reels are probably the best just because they get a lot of interaction and people like to see others talking, make it easier. They like to hear and not just read. So
in the past year that we've been working together, what has been the number one reason for you that you're with Sadeghi and Associate?
if I'm honest, it's your expertise. I know that whatever question I have or problem, I can come to you, give you a call, or any of our other team members, and they'll always give me an answer or a solution to help fix my problem. Sometimes there's conversations with clients where I'm like, I don't know how to like get past this obstacle or something like that, and I'll send the conversation to you or to Lydia or whoever, and they can figure out exactly what I need to say to move
To
forward
make that
with them.
transaction happen so you don't lose a client, basically.
Exactly.
That's right. So do you recommend newer agents to join a team?
I think that's the best way to start. Going in with a team and then you can figure it all out later. But going with a team, you will get that experience. You'll get that support that you need at the beginning. That's going to be very confusing for you if you're by your own.
If you're going to recommend one niche to a new agent to start their career in real estate, what is the niche? What market do you think agents should get in at the beginning of their career?
Right now, I think the pre-sale market, especially with the high interest rates, the slow market that we have right now in the winter, pre-sales are something that I think a lot of people should focus on, and a lot of newer agents, just because they're easier sometimes to convince clients that they can spread out their payment. They don't have to have the lump sum right now, and they have something to look forward to in the future. And then, of course, with the high interest rates, you don't have to get a mortgage right now for pre-sales.
Okay, so pre-sale is a product that you think a lot of the buyers should buy right now, and you think the agents that are new should get into that industry, into that niche, because it's so much easier to sell.
Wouldn't say it's easier to sell, but right now it's probably a better way to market yourself than residential resales.
So you're in Burnaby area, and you grew up in that area, and you are mainly working in that area, or you focus in downtown, North Van, everywhere in that.
Everywhere, yeah. Everywhere a client needs, I'll be there.
Okay, sounds good. So Erfan, we live in Vancouver, and how do you see the future of real estate in Vancouver?
I think there's the only way it can go is up, physically and price wise, just because all we're getting in the future is going to be high rises. They recently changed the zoning rules to make it easier to build high rises, and I think price wise, Vancouver is such a like immigration city. I don't see in the long term for a way for the prices to come down, just because when you think of a city in Western Canada, if you put yourself in a perspective of someone that's outside Canada, there's only one city that comes to their mind, and that's Vancouver. So that's where everyone will want to move. They can disperse after, but
right.
this is the only city that they can come in. So long term wise, I only see it going up.
Short term?
Short term, we'll see.
Sure. Do you think the interest rates are going to go down anytime soon?
I would hope so. I don't think they can stay this high for much longer. So I want to say middle to early 2024, I would hope the interest rates slowly start decreasing.
Mm-hmm.
So that way more people can get into the buying market. Because I know a lot of people have to refinance as well, and that's going to be an issue if the interest rates stay the same.
That's right. That's right. I heard. I was looking at the news 2 days ago, and the inflation dropped more than it was expected to drop, and the stock market just started going up so fast. And same day, everything was up 10%. The same day, right? And that's what I always say to people too. I say when the news comes out about the market recovering or the interest rates dropping or going down, the real estate market is just going to jump. So don't wait for that day. Don't wait for the day that you think the interest rate is just gonna go down more. Just buy right now. You might just pay a little more than maybe in 2 or 3 months, when maybe if the interest goes up a little more. But just buy right now and just wait. It's the best market. Right now is the best market. Like the opportunities are endless.
Exactly.
You can find great pre-sale projects. You can find great resales. You can find a lot of stressed sellers. You can find a lot of stressed commercial properties. You can find so many products in this market right now to secure a good investment. And that's what you see too, right? Other than Vancouver, what other city in BC do you recommend?
The other city I'd recommend is, I would probably say Kelowna, just because they're the next big city compared to Vancouver. So a lot of people that are, with stay-at-home jobs, things like that, they're moving out of Vancouver, moving farther away, spreading out. And I think Kelowna's one of those cities that's really nice, has wonderful summers,
That's right.
and I think it's gonna be somewhere that's gonna grow a lot in the future too.
That's right. That's right. I personally think the same thing. Besides Kelowna, which is 4.5 hours away from Vancouver, I think Squamish and Whistler have really good potential too. Because Squamish, there's a new ski resort that is not approved yet, but after that gets approved, that would be crazy. Because
Yeah.
Squamish is just literally 25-30 minutes from Vancouver, and you can just drive to it. You can just have a home away from home, right? In Squamish, and it's growing really fast. In the past few years, it's had a really good increase in the prices, and it's stopped right now because same as anywhere else in I would say the world,
Yeah.
right? That's just because of the economy overall. But I think when the market starts, so whenever you're doing a real estate investment, you have to see where the market is going, and also if your location is gonna grow more because of certain things that are happening to that neighborhood, right? Or to that area. So that's why when people come to me, they're like, where should we buy? Should we buy in downtown? Should we buy in Surrey? Should we buy in Burnaby, Coquitlam? Where should we buy? I tell them, well, look, what is happening in that city? Because when the market goes up, everything goes up 10%. So 10% of West Van is 10%, 10% of Coquitlam is 10% too, right? But Surrey, for example, goes up maybe a little more because of the SkyTrain, because of the future expansion plans and all of that. And West Van might even go down in price, right? Because the population is decreasing, because the home prices are very high, because there's no second bridge. The traffic is really bad right now going from downtown to North Van or West Vancouver. So many reasons are showing that West Vancouver home prices might stay the same or go down. Or even or if it goes up, it could be for another reason that is happening in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe like a lot of wealthy people from another country want to come to Vancouver, and where do they go? They either go to West Vancouver or they go to Shaughnessy, right?
Yeah.
Mainly, right? So, I think Squamish is one of those cities that city, right? It's the city of Squamish, yeah.
Squamish, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those cities that I think it has a really good potential to grow, and there are a lot of pre-sale projects right now that are for sale in Squamish too. And actually, Boza has a new townhouse project that is between Squamish. I think they have one in Squamish and they have one in Britannia Beach. And that Britannia Beach project is also massive too. And Britannia Beach is even closer to Vancouver. And these are some of the smaller places that I think the real estate is just going to grow more, Because when I was looking to buy a home in Vancouver 10 years ago, British properties, you could buy a home with 500,000,
Really?
600,000. Yeah.
Wow.
And no, not 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
600,000, you could buy a house in British properties. Not like Chartwell Waterview,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you could buy something there. And those homes right now are 2 million, 2.2, 2.3. But in Britannia Beach, it was like 100,000. And now they're a million, right? So West Van went up maybe 4 or 5 times in value for some of the properties, and Britannia Beach went up like 7, 8, 9 times in value, right? So you always have to look at those things too. And Squamish went up a lot too. And yeah, and I think in some of the cities they even put less regulations too. Like right now, we're going to have the Airbnb regulation,
Yeah.
but Whistler is going to be exempt, for example,
Because they
right?
need the tourism.
Exactly, right? And it's not like there's a lot of homeowners that live there. It's mainly hotels or vacation homes. So they're trying to attract more people there, right? So the
Yeah.
vacation homes don't sit empty. So that's going to bump up the prices for Whistler, because when the Airbnb is kind of more restricted in the rest of Vancouver, boom, investors, they go somewhere that is less restriction,
Yeah.
right?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So we talked about the future of the real estate. We talked about the EXP. We talked about the team. We talked about you. Is there anything you want to talk about?
I think Coquitlam's underestimated as a place to buy. I'm a big fan of like the infrastructure and the layout of the city in Coquitlam. A lot of the malls, the streets, they're all brand new. So I think Coquitlam still has a lot of room to grow too, because it's basically on par with Surrey. But of course, it's this side of the bridge, so it's closer to Vancouver,
Yeah.
less traffic, things like that. So I'm a big fan of Coquitlam too, especially Burquitlam.
Burquitlam. Yeah. Burquitlam, there's so many new buildings that are going up there. But I feel like when so many new buildings come to a neighborhood, it has a great future for that neighborhood. But for investors that are looking to flip and make profit, it's a very risky area.
Yeah. I
Right?
wouldn't recommend it for an investor, but for somewhere to live in, I think new infrastructure, new buildings, it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on the show and on the podcast, on the podcast, and we should do this more.
Absolutely. I'm down.